long time ago, people were acting very, very wickedly. When God looked at the earth, he was very unhappy because all people had been very evil. But there was one man who was not evil in God's eyes, and his name was Noah. These are the records of the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his time. Noah walked with God. Noah became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
The end of all people has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. And behold, I am about to destroy them with the earth. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with rooms, and shall cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you will make it. The length of the ark, 300 cubits, its breadth, 50 cubits, and its height, 30 cubits. You will make a window for the ark, and will finish it to a cubit from the top, and set the door of the ark in the side of it. You will make it with lower, second, and third decks. Behold, I am going to flood the earth with water to destroy all the people on the earth. Everything that is on the earth shall perish, but I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you.
So Noah did everything that God commanded him to do. Noah made an ark, which is a really big boat. The boat was longer than a football field. That's a huge boat. After he built it, Noah brought 2 of every kind of living thing onto the ark, a male and female of every kind. Look at the animals going onto the ark. Can you identify any of them?
As for you, take for yourself some of all food which is edible, and gather it to yourself, and it will be food for you and for everyone on the ark. Enter the ark, you and all your household, for you alone I have seen to be righteous before me in this time. You shall take with you of every clean animal by 7s, a male and his female, and of the animals that are not clean, 2, a male and his female, also of the birds of the sky by 7s, male and female, to keep offspring alive on the face of the earth. For after 7 more days I will send the rain on the earth, 40 days and 40 nights, and I will remove from the face of the land every living thing that I have made.
Noah did according to all that the Lord had commanded him. Now Noah was 600 years old when the flood of water came upon the earth. Then Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives entered the ark because of the water of the flood. Every kind of animal and bird and thing that creeps on the ground went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. And after the 7th day, the water of the flood came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, and on the 17th day of the month, the fountains of the great deep burst open, and the floodgates of the sky were opened. The rain fell upon the earth for 40 days and for 40 nights. Those that entered, male and female of all flesh, entered as God had commanded Noah. And the Lord closed the door behind them. Then the flood came upon the earth for 40 days, and the water increased and lifted up the ark so that it rose above the earth. The water continued and increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water became more and more upon the earth, so that all the high mountains everywhere under the heavens were covered. The water kept rising higher, and the mountains were covered. All flesh that moved on the earth died, birds, cattle, beasts, and every swarming thing that swarms upon the earth, and all mankind, all that was on the dry land, died. And only Noah was left, together with those that were with him in the ark. The water continued coming upon the earth 150 days. God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark, and God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water subsided. Also, the fountains of the deep and the floodgates of the sky were closed, and the rain from the sky was stopped, and the water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water decreased. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat. The water decreased steadily until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Then it came about at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out a raven, and it flew here and there, and the water was dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove from him to see if the water was abated from the face of the land. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of her foot, so she returned to him into the ark, for the water was on the surface of all the earth. Then he put out his hand and took her, and brought her into the ark himself. So he waited yet another 7 days, and again he sent out the dove from the ark. The dove came to him toward evening, and behold, in her beak was a freshly picked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water was lessened from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days and sent out the dove, but she did not return to him again, because the dove had found a place to live on the dry ground. Now it came about in the 601st year, in the 1st month, on the 1st day of the month, the water was dried up from the earth. Then Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground was dried up. In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry.
Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth.
So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every bird, everything that moves on the earth, went out by their families from the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. The Lord smelled the soothing aroma. Noah's sacrifice and praise pleased God.
I will never again curse the ground on account of man, for the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing that I have done, as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
And God blessed Noah and his sons.
Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. You will be feared and respected by every beast of the earth, and on every bird of the sky, with everything that creeps on the ground, and all the fish of the sea. Into your hands they are given. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I give all to you, as I gave the green plant. Only you shall not eat the flesh with its life, that is its blood. Surely I will require your lifeblood. From every beast I will require it. And from every man, and from every brother's man, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he has made man. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, populate the earth abundantly, and multiply in it. Now behold, I myself do establish my covenant with you, and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of earth with you, of all that comes out of the ark, even every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you, and all flesh shall never again be cut off by the waters of the flood, neither shall again be a flood to destroy the earth. This is the sign of the promise which I am making between me and you, and every living creature that is with you. For all successive generations I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. It shall come about when I bring a cloud over the earth, that is, the rainbow will be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And never again shall the water become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the rainbow is in the cloud, then I will look upon it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all people that are on the earth. The rainbow is a sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all the people that are on the earth.
The end.